His core motivation, saving his innocent brother from a corrupt system, is noble.
Right, you sympathize with him.
But in this scene, he is actively terrorizing a 10-year-old boy. Terrell is sadistically taunting the child with a knife, while Malachi forces the bleeding, terrified CEO to sign a confession with a black pen.
You have to ask at this point, hasn't Malachi just become the exact same kind of monster he's trying to destroy?
It is the central tragic paradox of vigilante justice. Malachi is using the exact same tools of fear, leverage, and coercion that the corrupt corporate system used against his family. He has convinced himself that the ends justify the means.
Yeah.
But the psychological trauma he's inflicting on that innocent child in the chair is real, and it is permanent. Malachi is rewriting the ledger to save his brother, but he is paying the balance with his own humanity.
And the ink doesn't even have time to dry. The police scanners go crazy, the tactical units have tracked them to the estate, the standoff cannot last, and the physical breach of the house heavily mirrors the legal and moral consequences that are about to crash down on everyone.
Because the police are not there to negotiate a hostage situation, they are there to neutralize a severe armed threat. A hydraulic charge blows the massive front doors off their hinges, triggering a blinding firefight in the foyer. Flashbangs go off. Terrell fires blindly into the smoke but takes a SWAT volley to the shoulder. Jin is wounded by flying shrapnel.
It all just falls apart.
And in that chaotic, deafening moment, Malachi looks at the 10-year-old boy who is convulsing with silent tears in the crossfire. Malachi realizes the absolute reality of the violence he has brought into this home. He dives over the desk, shields the ledger with his body, and surrenders to prevent the child from being caught in the crossfire.
Which brings us to the cold reality of the legal system.
We find Malachi in a cinder block interrogation room with Detective Vance. So what does this all mean? How does the justice system actually process this explosion of vigilante violence?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the resolution revolves entirely around a legal concept called the felony murder rule. Detective Vance actually explains this to Malachi. Under Pennsylvania law, because Malachi actively participated in an armed robbery where lives were lost, specifically Raymond Cruz and the cage guard, he is deemed equally responsible for those murders.
Trigger.
Exactly. It absolutely does not matter that Terrell was the one who actually fired the gun and swung the crowbar.
I always found that rule fascinating. Can you explain the actual legal philosophy behind that? Why charge someone with murder if they didn't commit the act of killing?
The underlying philosophy is strict liability and deterrence. The law dictates that if you choose to participate in an inherently dangerous felony, like an armed robbery or a kidnapping, you assume the risk for anything that happens as a result of that crime.
So you own all the consequences.
Right. The justice system is essentially saying that the deaths are a foreseeable consequence of the dangerous environment you helped create. The goal is to deter people from committing felonies in the first place by drastically raising the stakes for every single accomplishment.
And the law does not care about Malachi's noble motivations. It does not allow you to trade 2 dead bodies for a corporate financial ledger. And under the weight of this reality, the crew fractures.
Yeah, self-preservation kicks in.
Jin is terrified and takes a 10 to 20-year plea deal. Terrell, facing the death penalty, completely betrays Malachi, snitching to the district attorney to save himself. Malachi is left holding the entire weight of the consequences.
He goes to court, and he pleads guilty to avoid the death penalty, accepting 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole.
It is the ultimate brutal accounting transaction. Malachi literally traded the rest of his own natural life to buy back his brother's freedom. A life for a life. The ledger is perfectly balanced.